Welcome to the deep dive. We've got quite a mix of sources today. It looks like military strategy meets ancient wisdom meets, well, something else entirely.
It's definitely an unusual combination. We're looking at decision-making under pressure, framed by Proverbs 20.18. Plans are established by counsel. By wise guidance, wage war.
Right. That's the core text. And the sources use this really vivid, almost allegorical narrative to unpack it. Spiders, owls, robots.
Exactly. Our mission, essentially, is to decode this. How do you get from that internal chaos, the maḥăshāvōt, the frantic thoughts, to effective guided action, the mnemonics, or war?
Okay, so let's set the scene you mentioned from the sources. A high-pressure strategy meeting, and the central figure is
The spider.
the spider, yes, the supreme commander. And the core problem kicking off phase one is recognizing and calming that initial impulse.
So the spider's issue isn't a lack of power or smarts, it's speed, trying to go too fast.
Precisely. He's pushing for a quick win, this one-point breakthrough, but it's incredibly high risk, driven by his own internal pressure. And this state of mind, this frantic thinking, that's the maḥăshāvōt.
That's it. The image is the spider weaving this intricate web, but, trapping himself in it. It's hurried thinking, creating its own problems.
We've all been there, I think, stuck in that self-made web of urgency. So how does the situation change?
Well, this is where the vixen comes in, Nate. She sees the potential disaster looming.
She jumps in with a counter-argument.
No, and that's what's fascinating. Her intervention is completely silent. She just stands up, takes a jug. The source connects this jug to the verse number 18 and slowly pours water into a glass right in front of the spider.
Ah, okay. So it's not about arguing, it's about creating a pause. That deliberate action, the sound, it forces a stop.
It's a physical de-escalation. It represents patience, creating that mental space needed to even receive advice. You have to break the commander out of that maḥăshāvōt web first.
Right. It's like if you're the one spiraling, you can't hear anything until someone forces you to just breathe for a second, maybe literally step away.
That's the vixen's role. That moment is the prerequisite for anything else. You can't offer wisdom to someone who's still frantically spinning.
Okay. So the vixen creates the quiet. The impulse is calmed, at least momentarily. That moves us into phase two, establishing counsel.
Exactly. Now the space is clear for the owl.
The owl, the classic symbol of wisdom, I assume.
Yes, representing bəʿētsāh, which means counsel or advice. The owl steps in, now that the spider is receptive, steering the strategy away from that brute force idea towards something more considered.
Towards wisdom, basically. But the source is at another layer, right? The owl has a specific prop.
A staff, described as a peg.
A peg. Why a peg? Seems specific.
It symbolizes the next crucial step, making the plan tikkōn. That Hebrew word means to be established, prepared, made firm. The advice can't just hang in the air.
It needs to be grounded, fixed.
Right. The sound of the owl tapping the peg on the floor in the narrative signifies the plan becoming solid, concrete. It's moving from just an idea to an actual foundation.
That feels very practical. You get advice, the bəʿētsāh, but if you don't actually do something to lock it in, to establish it,
Then it hasn't become tikkōn. It's still just thought. Maybe less frantic thought than before. But not yet a firm plan ready for action. You need that tangible step to finding milestones, allocating resources, whatever makes it real.
So let's recap the flow. We had the panic spider, calmed by the silent vixen and her jug. Then the owl offers counsel, the bəṟētsāh, and uses the peg to make the plan firm, tikkōn.
That's the sequence. From chaos to a solid foundation.
Okay, foundation built. But a plan is only as good as its execution, right? So phase three must be about directing the action.
Precisely. Now we move into the operational part, guided by the phrase uvətaḥbulōt, meaning by wise guidance or strategies or direction.
And the mnemonic image for this?
A rope.
A rope. Interesting. So not just letting loose, but guiding. This seems to push back against the spider's initial desire for speed and force. Isn't guidance slower?
It can be, but it's about effective action, not just fast action. The rope symbolizes control, strategy, guiding the force to the right point, maybe avoiding obstacles, hitting a vulnerability. Sheer velocity is useless if it's aimed wrong.
Okay, I get it. Guidance ensures the power isn't wasted or counterproductive, which makes sense because the next character introduced is pure power.
Pure power, zero direction.
The robot.
The robot.
Okay.
It represents the Hebrew for make, do, action, execution. It's the raw capability.
But it needs the guidance.
Critically, the source imagery is clear. The robot is initially bound by the rope, held back until the guidance is set.
Wow, okay, so the force is restrained until the strategy is clear. If the spider had just acted on impulse...
He would have unleashed the robot without the rope.
Yeah.
Maximum force, maybe, but potentially maximum chaos or hitting the wrong target entirely.
So the uvətaḥbulōt, the guidance, is what makes the action actually work. The sequence is non-negotiable. Calm the impulse, establish the plan, then guide the execution.
That's the core message. And the final stage.
What happens when it all comes together?
The spider accepts the owl's counsel. The peg is firmly in place. The rope provides the strategy, the command is given. And the robot enters the tank.
The tank, is that the final mnemonic?
Yes.
Yes.
The tank represents mnemonics, the war or the battle, the actual engagement or the high-stakes meeting, whatever the context is.
But now it's a battle waged with wisdom, not panic.
Exactly. Guided by strategy, built on a firm foundation. The risk identified by the vixen has been mitigated through this process.
Okay, let's quickly walk through that sequence again for everyone listening. It's a mental checklist for making tough decisions.
Right. You start, potentially, as the spider, caught in that web of your own frantic thoughts, the maḥăshāvōt.
First step, recognize it. Then you need the vixen moment, that deliberate pause, that physical break symbolized by the jug to create calm.
Then, actively seek counsel the owl, the bəʿētsāh. But don't stop there.
No, you have to make it concrete. Use the peg to establish the plan. Make it tikkōn, solid, firm.
Once the foundation is there, you apply the robot, the strategy, the uvətaḥbulōt, wise guidance.
Only then do you unleash the robot, the pure force of execution,
which leads to the tank, the successful engagement, the mnemonics, waged effectively.
It maps perfectly back to the proverb. Plan is established by counsel, by bəʿētsāh, by wise guidance, wage war, mnemonics. You can't just leap from seeing a problem to smashing it.
Absolutely not. That relief the vixen feels at the end, that's the relief you feel when you know you've replaced reaction with a deliberate, guided process.
So here's something for you, the listener, to think about this week. In whatever challenges you're facing, where is your vixen moment? What's the non-negotiable pause you build in to stop the spiral?
And maybe more importantly, what's your peg? What specific tangible action are you taking after getting advice to make sure that plan is truly firm, truly established, before you even think about sending in the robot?
Because, as the sources suggest, the success really is in the sequence.